Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I've always wanted to say that. I have absolutely no videos on my YouTube channel. But for those of you who may not know, I am Kiki. I am a nursing student at Lenore Community College, currently taking ACA 111, and this is my final project. So at the beginning of the semester, we took a test for a career pathway. And the test that I took led me down the career pathway that I've already had in mind with the start of the nursing program. And that is with the nurse anesthetist. Are we there yet? Not quite. It is a very long journey. Just know that with big knowledge comes big bags. So, what is a nurse anesthetist? It is a certified registered nurse anesthetist that is an advanced practice RN. They provide anesthesia under the practice of an anesthesiologist. So they can provide it in settings such as labor and delivery, the operating room, some doctors' offices like podiatry or plastic surgery, or even pain management centers. So, how can you get there? Well, let me help you. So, you must be a registered nurse in order to become a CRNA. A nursing major is the only major that you can have to get to the journey. Now, there are other ways to work in anesthesia, but to be a CRNA, a nursing degree is the only way. There's a couple of different ways that you can go about getting there, and you can go step by step, which is going from an ADN, which is an associate degree in nursing, to a BSN, which is the bachelor's program. You do not have to go ADN to BSN. You can go straight BSN and then progress throughout your career. What is now changing is that before, to be a CRNA, it was a master's program, but a lot of places are changing. And in a couple of years, from some CRNAs that I've talked to, and a couple of that I've talked to that are currently in some programs, master's program will no longer exist in the next couple of years. It will only be a doctorate of nursing degree. And a lot of jobs are only accepting the doctor of nursing degree for a CRNA now. But before you can even apply, the nurse must work in a certain area before that can even happen. So let me just say this. As a registered nurse can monitor a patient, they can administer medication, they can assist with activities of daily living, they can chart care and respond to emergencies. But for a CRNA, the nurse must work in the ICU or CCU, which is the intensive care or critical care units. Depending on what your hospital is, that's what it would be called. So, a nurse in those units, they work with intubated patients on ventilators, handling multiple IV drips. It's important that they do that before they go to CRNA school or before becoming a CRNA, because as a CRNA, that is your primary job, to intubate, to watch the ventilator, and to handle multiple drugs at a time while still maintaining, your other nursing duties, because they do all of that stuff as well in the ICU. But that is the difference between an ICU nurse and many other nurses. So that's why it's a requirement that they have either a couple of years or so many hours working in those departments. And it depends on what school you apply to, that determines whether it's based off of years or patient contact hours. Let's move on to the fun stuff and what everybody loves. That is the salary. So it's not all about the salary, but the salary is a pretty nice addition to becoming a CRNA, right? So a lot of the focus that I did here, and I hope you like my drawing. I did it especially for you guys. But a lot of my focus here, I broke down how the military pays because a civilian salary, well, a civilian salary isn't really straight up and down either because this may not be based off of overtime hours or even a bonus that a CRNA can get from a hospital for signing on. Awesome. But in the military, I think I focused a little more on the military side because I plan on retiring from the military. I mean, right now I'm in the reserves because I'm in school, obviously, but my that is my plan is to go active duty and to hopefully retire from the military one day. So from the first year, the military offers like a one-time bonus when you initially sign on for your original contract. I shouldn't say contract. I should say, yes, for your original contract. I will say that because a CRNA is an officer. It's completely different from enlisted. Anywho, that initial bonus of 15,000 plus the $5,000 that you can get on top of that, and that might be an annual bonus. This is based off of 2020. And then you would have your monthly pay of, as you can see, the 4,000, a little over 4,000. And then there's BAH. And BAH is a basic allowance for housing that they give you monthly. That BAH is based off of a zip code for where I live. I live in Jacksonville. But that is based off of a Jacksonville zip code. And it changes zip code to zip code, state to state. And when you put all that together, it's a little over $88,000 a year. So that would be the start for your first year if you were in the military as a CRNA. By year 20, that bonus has changed because you're no longer in your initial contract with the military, but your monthly has changed. It's in the mid $9,000 a month, and then the BAH has changed, but that is also based off of this area still, and it is for 2020 as well. But by year 20, you would be at $142,000. Well, a little over $142,000 annually. And year 20 is your retirement year in the military. So that's why I stopped at year 20. But now we go to the civilian salary, which is completely different because the start, and this is, as you can see, I wrote on average. On average, you would start at $139,000 a year, and on average, finish by your retirement, close to your retirement, at $167,000 a year. So the military to civilian is completely different. And like I said, I don't know if these salaries are including a sign-on bonus or overtime hours that could be worked as a civilian in a location. And this could also be based off of straight salary because that is a possibility as well for a CRNA to make straight salary pay. So, the walk of life. I call it the walk of life because, I mean, our careers are, I mean, we have families. We all know that. But a career, the getting to your career is a walk. And then now this is my life, right? So, the walk of life, the job outlook for a CRNA is projected to have 31% growth. And this is based from 2014 to 2024. I mean, we're in 2020 now, so there should be something new coming out before too long with COVID. Who knows what that projected growth even looks like now? It could be completely different and a lot higher than what it is now. Major places of employment, though, for a CRNA would be a traditional operating room and or a delivery room, which is where babies are born. So labor and delivery, and dental offices. So like as I mentioned before, a CRNA can work in a podiatry office or that of a plastic surgery, dental offices, and ambulatory care. which is kind of hand in hand, but there's ambulatory care is also kind of like OR. Traditional OR is just in a hospital, and ambulatory care is you literally walk in to get your surgery that day and you walk out that same day. That's the difference. I listed some of the best locations for the CRNA. This is not to say that a CRNA cannot work anywhere, because a CRNA can work just about anywhere in the US of A. These locations just happen to pay more. And remember the last slide, the salary slide? These locations just happen to pay, most of them happen to pay more than what the end salary was for the CRNA for civilian side, if that gives you an idea of how they're paying. Uh, and they also have the highest number of jobs available for CRNA. So the highest number of jobs, and they pay the best. So it's Wyoming, Montana, Oregon, Wisconsin, California, Iowa, Massachusetts, New York, Illinois, and Connecticut. It's very strange. There's a lot more, I feel like, on the West Coast and like Midwest versus the East Coast. But like I said, these are just the best locations for money and job outlooks. And then now that brings us to my Works Cited page. So we are at the end of this journey. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you have gained more knowledge than maybe you had before about that of a CRNA. I appreciate you taking the time out to be with me here today, and thank you.